Hello everyone, welcome to Ambymarieknits. This is my YouTube channel about what I've been crafting on. This is episode 17. You can find me on Instagram and Ravelry as Ambymarieknits. Got a couple finished objects, some whips, a new cast on. Pretty awesome, even something that's not knitting today. I'm not quite sure what the craft would be considered, but it's still cool. First off, how about what am I wearing? Not for long. It's still hot. It's August in Missouri. But I am wearing my What the Fade by Ambymarieknits. I had it at work and I cleaned up my desk today just because we're cleaning stuff up there. So I thought I'd show it off. It's huge. So it's brioche for the first half and then garter. The yarns on here, all of them except for this one, it's like dark pinky one, is hot knit yarn. That one that's kind of the dark purpley black, that is Herring Colored Dye Works. And yeah, it's just a ginormous keep you warm. Let's see if I can show it off a little bit. Just look at it, it's so pretty. Okay, it's too hot for this, but I still wanted to show y'all. So now that we've shown that off, let's jump into finished objects. The first one was almost done last week. I just didn't quite get it done. So it's kind of like a Japanese knot bag. I don't know if anybody's have one. I've sewn a couple of them there. I like them. It's just, they're hard to sew because they don't like curves. But you just stick the long end to the little end and you get a little bag. A whole bunch of people's making them. I decided to make one. I don't know what I'm going to do with it. But hey, it's cool. So that's the first finished object. I was very, I guess, influenced by social media last week, in so much as I don't have a lot of active whips right now, and the ones I do have aren't ones I necessarily, they're boring. I want to get them done, but they're not that exciting. So when you're scrolling across Instagram stories and you find something intriguing, that works. So let me show you this next FO. So there's two of these. So scrolling on Instagram, see this really awesome like DK brioche thing. It wound up being the Pibbling Cow by Carissa Browning. Kimber's Coaster Creations was making it, and I'm like, that looks fun. So I look up the cow, and it's pretty cool. It's got double knitting, then brioche, then double knitting. Didn't really want to make a cow. But there's a hat that's very similar called that's the Niefling. Niefling. I'll put it on the screen. The Niefling hat. And I'm like, that looks cool. I'm going to try it. So this is the first one I made. Yarn is Casual Fashion Queen. This pretty blue is Notes. What Became of You. I think that's part of her Studio Ghibli collection. And then the other side, this pretty gray, is Black Hills. So, little end, it's fine. So this hat starts out with double knitting. I did a 2-color Italian cast on. That was cool. I also totally messed up the double knitting on the first half. I was holding it wrong. So it looks cool, but not what it's supposed to. And then you can see when I got it right here. And then of course we just have this lovely brioche. And the cool thing about this hat is it has options. So it's reversible, assuming you snip your ends properly. You can make it slouchy. You can roll the brim. So it was so fun. I'm like, oh, there's more yarn left. I don't know if I have enough for another adult hat. Let's make a baby hat. So I did. This one, I did the double knitting right on. Look at that. I'm not kidding, the cast on's pretty cool. I'm going to try it on something else again. I really liked how that turned out. But let's look at it. It's just a little hat. And we all know how much I love brioche. So I will be making more of these. Because the double knitting is just interesting enough that it's not boring, but it's also not too strenuous on your brain. So that's all my knitting finished objects. I have another finished object. I don't know. I don't think about it. It was a real Dollar Tree ghost. You went to the Dollar Tree and you got this like cotton rope and you glue it on some cardboard and you make a ghost. I'm not good with a glue gun. That's okay. I don't know if that looks like a ghost, but I made it. This one's a little bit better, I think, as far as looking spooky. But they're fun. We'll call it good. Just took me a couple hours, less than $5 to make because I had the glue gun. I just used fabric for this old box. I think a printer box, actually, for the cardboard. So, not quite sure how to hang them up, but I'll figure out something. They're still cool. Alright, so that's everything I finished. We'll move on to whips next. First whip, so one you've seen, I'm getting there, okay? This is in a bag by Stitching Plaza. Sorry, I went blank there. My Lisa Frank bag. And this is a Summer Sorrel by Wool & Pine Designs. Keep in mind it's inside out. You guys can see the real thing when it's done. So, I got that Hedgehog's fiber. It's not too fun last week. I had started the fade. I actually got the fade done. And I realized one of the problems with this sweater is when you carry the yarn, we're used to carrying it on the back. Except for the back is the front because you're knitting it inside out. Ripped it back, redid it. I'm here. I have probably like 3 more inches to knit before I start the ripping. So really I'm getting close. Might even be done by next week. We will find out. Because I have a new obsession. But I'll show you that in just a minute. So that's whip 1. Whip 2 is in a bag made by me. A pair of vanilla socks for a friend. They are toe up. Size 1 needles. Shadow Wrap heel, because I'm obsessed with that one now. This yarn is Hay Bales. It was part of the super secret Society of Self-Striping Sock Knitters Club that Teresa from Pretty Twisted Yarns did for a while. And they're coming along pretty good. These are my... I have something else to do and have to pay attention to at knitting. So doctor's office, hanging out, car knitting, that kind of stuff. Pretty fun. Okay, my next whip is awesome. So, I said earlier, a little bit influenced by social media. So, last weekend, I was watching Aquila. That's a Lefty Knitter podcast. And everybody I talk about today, I will link below. But I was watching her, and she was thinking about making the Misurina top by Caitlin Hunter. And she was talking about it, somebody in her knit group, and they're like, yeah, I'm going to make that too. So she said a few of them were going to do it, and I look up the pattern, and it's really cool looking. Like, it has lace, it has color work and a cable, and then there's a pattern on the body, and it looks fun. And if you look up the yarn on it, even some of like the middle to upper sizes only take 2 skeins of the main color and 1 of a contrast. We'll see what happens when I finish it. And I'm like, okay, I'm going to try this. To make it even more fun, I was watching We Share Needles this morning, and they're planning on doing it as well. So, kind of an impromptu knit-along, but not really a knit-along. Everybody just make the same thing. Kind of cool. Alright, but here's mine. Bag made by me. I am working on the lace section. Okay, and the yarn is also dyed by me. So I have this dark burgundy color. See it? And this light gray. So this is my main color. This will be my contrast on it. And it doesn't really look like much right now. I got the short rows done. And now I'm working on the yoke. So there's just a, see if I can angle that. Little bit of lace starting. Which lace is not my strong suit. I do lots of things, not really lace. But there's not a lot of it, and so far so good. I'm just really paying attention. That's why I've got all these marked off for all the repeats. So stay tuned to see what happens with this. Pretty excited on that one. So that's all the knitting. No acquisitions as yet. Tomorrow maybe a different story. I'm going to a Mad Knitter's Yarn to drop off the sample knit I did and pick up whatever yarn I get for making it. I don't know what that's going to be yet, so I'm excited there. Next up, my bubble cardigan. So I frogged it. I'll put a little video in of me frogging it, but I decided that having it sit there and make me feel guilty for not doing it, I wasn't going to have it anymore. I didn't want to make it. It's not a bad pattern. It really isn't. But it wasn't holding my interest. I wasn't enjoying switching colors as often as it was. So I decided it had to go, and that was just a weight off my shoulders. I don't have that as a languishing whip anymore. And it's okay to do that. If you have a project that you don't want to work on, you don't have to. Frog it and do something else with it. Save the yarn for later. I'll have 7 skeins of yarn now I have to figure out something to do with, but that's okay. I'm perfectly okay with doing that. So keep that in mind. There is a knit along coming. I think the end of next month. Don't put me on the date. And it is a collaboration from 3 people. It is 72 Stitches, Happy Little Yarn, and Lazy Lemons Creations. And sorry about the bad word, but it happens sometimes. I think it's called Knit All the Shit, Cal. I'm not quite sure, but it involves knitting all the shit. I'm down. That sounds like it's going to be fun. So I will let y'all know more about that as I know more. And that's all my knitting content. My garden is going pretty good. Oh wait, I lied. It's not going really good. It's almost done, and I'm happy with that. I'm done watering. You know, you just get to that point with your garden where if it grows, cool. My zucchini completely died. My fault. I was trimming some of the leaves, and I think I trimmed important ones, and it just died. So I got that pulled out. Cucumber doesn't look so hot, but it keeps producing cucumbers, so we're going to go for that. The Roma's pretty much done. Didn't know cherry tomatoes would go wild on you if you didn't pay attention to them. My cherry tomatoes taken over the entire garden, and that's okay. And my jalapenos are doing jalapeno type things. They're tasty. I had them for breakfast this morning. I just made some potatoes and vegetables and eggs, and it was awesome. Okay, but that is everything I have this week. Definitely, if you have any questions, comments, concerns, you can find me again on Instagram, Ambymarieknits, Ravelry Ambymarieknits. You can email me at ambymarieknits@gmail.com. Please comment below. What are you working on? Anything interesting going on with you? As well as like and subscribe if you haven't already. And I do hope everybody has a great week, and thank you for watching.